Unfortunately, Dennis can't seem to sleep, but since he's awake he decides to make the best of it and prepare himself some French toast. He writes out the ingredients, but upon close inspection, they are rather troublesome on a low-carb or keto diet. Most of them are killer.
I think we can do something.
And to make something, he requires a microwave, a tool he has snuck into his neighbor's home to borrow. And this one talks. First things first, he needs 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. However, it needs to be melted, so he cuts it into small chunks and places it into a microwave-safe dish. So logic would surmise this is placed into the box emitter of waves and heated for roughly 60 seconds. Enough to melt the milk fat, but not long enough to have it splatter all over the top. That would require an intense cleaning. In the meantime, he uses a mason jar or any sort of microwave-safe dish and adds 2/3 of a cup of almond flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, a large pinch of salt, and a tablespoon of his favorite sweetener. Utilizing a materialized chopstick, he employs the Jason method to mix the dry ingredients, just as his butter finishes its tour of Melt Central. Just in time. The dry ingredients are set aside as the milk fat is removed from the microwave. Next, he could use cream cheese, but that would require additional melt work, so instead he opts to use a tablespoon of a similar ingredient, sour cream. Cream of the sour is much easier to mix even in its unmelted state. After evenly stirring, his recipe requires 2 full fat eggs to be extracted from the containment vessels. He plays the odds and cracks them straight into the melted fat. This mixture is akin to a traditional egg loaf, but alas, it is not. Once evenly mixed, it's added to the dry ingredients and mixed until it is as homogeneous as a mixture can become. This will be the bread in our French toast, or as the French call it, pain perdu. This goes in the microwave for roughly 2 minutes or until cooked through. At what power level, he knows not. You might also be wondering why he isn't using the oven. That's because in every previous attempt, it was an absolute disaster. Between burning, spilling, cooking time, and lack of necessary characteristics to make good French toast, the microwave is a superior tool for a fast version of pain perdu. When the bread is removed, one must be aware that it is guava lava hot and should not be toyed with, and so it is set aside while he prepares his custard. 3 large eggs are cracked into a bowl that is too small for comfort. To this he adds vanilla extract, brown sugar swerve, a heaping pinch of salt, and some bark dust. For a strong flavoured toast à la française, you could add more bark dust and some nutmeg. Mixing now ensures better evenness before he adds 1/3 cup of heavy cream and a splash of almond nut water. Further combined with the whisk, the custard is then deposited into a flat-bottomed pan, such as a pie pan or this glass dish. This increases the ease of use when soaking the bread, but for now it is set aside for a hot minute while the fake bread is extracted. It may seem difficult at the onset, but is actually rather easy to release from its container. Just be aware, it is rather hot, so do not add cold water to the jar unless you enjoy finding glass on the floor for the next 4 weeks. The loaf is then sliced into similarly sized pieces, thick enough to hold its weight and not fall apart when soaked. Although you should wait for these to cool, ain't nobody got time for that, and he's hungry. So he takes 2 slices and places them into the custard to soak. In the meantime, he cleans, because ants. Then, using his cast iron griddle or a non-stick pan, he places it onto his heater and sets the temperature to medium-low. The lack of fire is magic. He flips his bread so it soaks on the opposite side and then generously cuts a large nub of butter for his pan. Once the pan is hot and the bread has had some time to soak, the raw French toast goes onto the heat. You want to ensure the surface is sufficiently heated in butter so you can slide the toast around in order to prevent it from sticking. Once the bottom has sufficiently browned and cooked, slices are flipped. And these smell incredible. Once cooked, they are removed and positioned in the center of a large plate. It resembles a famous Italian tower, except this one is straight. You can then top with various garnishes, sugars, berries, nuts, berry nuts, or in this case, whipped cream. His attempts to make it pretty fails because it's not ice cream. However, delicious nonetheless. So if you have some extra time in the morning and want a breakfast that doesn't consist of bacon and eggs, give this fast French toast a try.
Yeah, it's real. Soup.
Then comment down below what you topped it with. Much thanks to my Patreon supporters who help keep the lights on and the videos coming. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out these other great low-carb and keto-friendly recipes. And until next time, eat well.